global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again as the Muslims are celebrating their Salah. They paid a courtesy visit to Fubara in his residence, and it was quite an exciting moment here, getting to hear exactly their position about a lot of things and the fact that they prayed for Fubara. But the shocking aspect of the visit was the level of confidence exuded by Fubara. Let me just, give you full details of what transpired when the Muslim paid him a visit in his private residence. What transpired? Now, according to the news, similarly, Fubara, the suspended governor of Rivers State, has assured residents that the ongoing political crisis in the state will end up strengthening the people rather than weaken them. While encouraging his supporters to remain steadfast, Fubara expressed the optimism that we will emerge stronger. According to a statement on Monday by his chief press secretary Nelson Chukwudi, the suspended governor spoke when he received Muslim leaders from 20 Islamic-based groups, including the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, who paid him a Salah visit at his private residence in Port Harcourt. Addressing the delegation, Fubara urged them and his supporters to trust in God's process, saying, "This season is one of love, sharing, and sacrifice. You have come to share in our pain and have made a great sacrifice through your prayers. As Christians, we believe that everything happened for a purpose, and I strongly believe that this situation is leading us towards a greater purpose. We acknowledge that the current political crisis in the state might leave many feeling depressed, but emphasize that supernatural forces may be at play beyond human understanding." Fubara reaffirmed his commitment to justice and equity, stressing that his administration envisions a society where no one is oppressed. In his word, he says, "We believe in egalitarianism, and if our belief brings us some pain, so be it. The most important thing is that we stand on the side of truth and righteousness." Suspended governor regretted that he was unable to formally reach out to the Muslim Ummah during their celebration, but promised that the relationship between religious groups and the government would be strengthened once the current uncertainties are resolved. He also assured the leaders that their pending requests would be addressed after the end of the political crisis. Speaking on patience and perseverance, Sasimilare Fubara drew an analogy from religious history, saying, "If God could be patient with Noah to allow even the snail to enter the ark, then patience remained an essential virtue in our struggle." He however urged his supporters not to play into the hands of those who want to engineer violence, instead by fanning provocative acts. According to him, he says, their goal is to create problems and deny people their means of livelihood. We will not allow that. We will continue to operate peacefully and respect constituted authority to ensure that our state remains a model for others in Nigeria. Speaking earlier on behalf of the Muslim Ummah, Alhaji Nasser Ehelebe Uho declared their solidarity for the suspended governor, assuring him of their prayers and support as he navigates the state's current political crisis. Or stated that the majority of Muslims in Rivers State stood with Governor Fubara due to his inclusive approach to governance and his recognition of Islamic faith. According to the Muslim leader, unlike the previous administration that declared Rivers a 100% Christian state, Fubara, upon assumption, acknowledged the state as Christian majority while allowing room for inclusivity. Encouraging the governor to remain steadfast, Uhor reminded him of the Islamic belief that Allah rewards patience. He said that the present challenges align with the teachings of Islam, where the Creator tests his people through wealth, power, and authority. However, the Muslim leader called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to review the emergency rule in Rivers State and restore Governor Similarly Fubara's full authority, emphasizing that the governor has been performing effectively despite the crisis. During the visit, prayers were offered for Fubara, his family, Rivers State, and Nigeria. Now, this is one confidence that Fubara will be remembered for. Apart from just confidence, his patience, his faith in God, and his belief that all things will work together for his good is one thing that you can't take away from him. Because I know that the situation that he has found himself is such that can suddenly breed depression. And apart from breeding depression, over time, you can run out of your patience. You can run out of your patience, and before you know, you go gaga, and before you know, the state is in flames and all of that. Now, sitting back to get some information about your rightful position, which someone has gone against the constitution to remove you from that seat, suspend you for a period of 6 months, and you sit back to hear things that your pictures have been displaced, your wife's picture has been displaced. The sole administrator who came on board has gone ahead doing his own thing. The wife is now the first lady of the state, and the fact that this first lady or the man himself, that's the proprietor, administrator who is on board right now, did not even get the acceptance of the people, to rule over them. At a point, you can run out of patience, and boom, you do things that nobody believe you can do, But every time people go closer to him, or talk to him about what has been going on in the state, you still hear him towing the path of peace. This is one man that is quite different, I must say. Ever since this whole thing happened, we've not heard him come out to express his disappointment. Apart from his disappointment, the fact that that which was his has been taken away from him and all of that, saying things that are provocative enough to cause the people to, be on their heels to do something funny. Every time he comes out, the only thing he preaches is that let peace abound. Let peace abound. And that's why I don't know how Dr. George Nweke will be feeling like, saying what he said, because I would say that everything Dr. George ended up saying again, talking about the ex-head of service, everything he had said against Fubara seems to be totally contrast. It's not agreeing, a situation whereby someone who had been involved in all the bwahaha in the state but always keep preaching peace, for you to say he has a strong relationship with militants. Do you think that if he has strong relationship with militants, or he pays them to do anything funny, as at this time they won't be around town doing some funny things, causing mayhem left, right, center? Even some of the lawyers and other persons who watches him, act the way he's doing, they are shocked, because if that which is rightfully yours is taken away from you, ordinarily it will so provoke you that you can, go haywire. But look at Similarly Fubara. Patience has always been his watchword, and he keeps telling the people, his supporters, that whatever you guys do, don't go against the constituted authority. Apart from not going against the constituted authority, make sure that peaceful coexistence with everyone should be your watchword. Let them not take away your livelihood. Up till now, we've not heard the issue of payment of salaries and all of that. And the interesting part of it is the fact that there had been an announcement that the funds of the state has been released to the sole administrator, has been released to the sole administrator. I'm talking about the allocation of Rivers State. Now, on what budget is he running with? These are very questionable acts that can easily provoke. What is the budget with which he is running? There are 2, 3, 4 persons he presented a budget to, and he's running with that budget. We are not in the know about any of those things. But then, Similarly Fubara is still watching by the side and hoping that everything will go well at the end of the day. Let's be hopeful, and let's join him in his faith and also patience, and wait to see what will be the end product of this political crisis, which has, provoked so many. We'd like to leave it there. Let's meet our conversation and talk more on this thing.